Her fingers were blue. She couldn't feel them anymore. But 6-year-old Lily Harper didn't stop pulling. 42 pounds dragging a 20-pound dying man through a blizzard. His jacket said, "Hell's Angels." His face was covered in frozen blood. He wasn't breathing. She pulled anyway. 23 minutes, 30 feet. Her tears froze on her cheeks. Her arms screamed. She didn't let go. "I won't let you die, mister. I won't." The next morning, 2,000 motorcycles surrounded her house. 2,000 hardened bikers knelt in the snow for one little girl. This is what happened. Drop where you're watching from. Subscribe now. What comes next will break you. Come on, mister. Move. Please move. Lily's fingers were numb. She couldn't feel them anymore. But she didn't let go. She pulled again. Her boots slipped. She fell backward, her pajamas soaking through with snow. Get up, she told herself. Get up, Lily. She got up. Mister, you gotta wake up. You gotta help me. Nothing. His eyes stayed closed. Ice hung from his beard like tiny daggers. Lily grabbed his arm with both hands and leaned back with everything she had. He slid forward. 1 inch, 2 inches. Good, that's good. Keep going, Lily. Keep going. She was talking to herself now, the way Mama used to talk to her when she was scared. The way Mama talked to her during thunderstorms, during bad dreams, during the nights when nothing felt safe. Mama wasn't here anymore, but her voice was. Brave isn't about not being scared, Lilybug. Brave is doing the right thing even when you're terrified. I'm terrified, Mama, Lily whispered, but I'm not stopping. She pulled again. Walter's eyes snapped open. Something was wrong. He knew it the way he'd known it 1,000 times before in burning buildings, in car wrecks, in every emergency that had defined his 30 years as a firefighter. His gut never lied. Lily. No answer. He pushed himself out of the chair. His knees screamed. He ignored them. Lily. Her bedroom door was open. Bed empty. Covers thrown back. Walter's heart slammed against his ribs. He ran to the back door. Wide open. Snow blowing in. No, 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 no. He grabbed his coat and ran into the storm. Lily had made it 15 feet. 15 feet of pulling, dragging, begging. Her arms felt like they were going to rip off. Tears froze on her cheeks, but she could see the kitchen window now. Yellow light. Warm. Almost there, mister. Almost. His eyes opened. Lily gasped. Mister, you're awake. His lips moved. No sound. Just his mouth trying to form words that wouldn't come. It's okay, she said quickly. I got you. I'm gonna get you inside. Just hold on. Hold on, okay? She pulled again. He groaned. His hand twitched. That's it. Help me, mister. Push with your good leg. Push, he pushed. Weak, barely anything. But it was enough. They moved another foot. Yes, good, keep going. Then Walter was there bursting through the snow like a man half his age. Lily. What the? Grandpa, help him. He's dying. Walter looked down, saw the leather, saw the patches, the skull and wings, Hell's Angels. He froze. Grandpa, please. He's dying. Walter looked at his granddaughter, 6 years old, covered in snow, shaking from cold, and she was looking at him like he was the one who didn't understand. He grabbed the man's other arm. On 3. 1, 2. They pulled together. And a thong. Thunder woke up warm. That was wrong. He was supposed to be dead. He'd made peace with it out there in the snow. Sarah and Michael were waiting. He was ready. But he wasn't dead. He was warm. Blankets. Fire crackling somewhere close. And there was a voice. His fingers are still blue, Grandpa. Is that bad? Doctor's coming. Sweetheart, you did real good. Thunder forced his eyes open. A little girl was sitting next to him. Brown hair, messy braids. Eyes green like spring grass. She was holding his hand, his frozen, worthless hand, and rubbing it between her small palms. You're awake. Her whole face changed, lit up like Christmas morning. Grandpa, he's awake. Thunder tried to speak. His throat was sandpaper. The girl grabbed a cup and held it to his lips. Small sips, that's what Dr. Ben says. Small sips. He drank. Warm water. It burned going down. Best thing he'd ever tasted. Where? His voice was barely there. My grandpa's house. I found you by our gate. You were really cold, and there was blood everywhere, and I was super scared, but I didn't leave you because, Lily, the old man's voice, gentle but firm, let him breathe. Sorry. She didn't look sorry. She looked excited. I'm Lily. What's your name? Thunder stared at her. This tiny thing, this child who had apparently dragged him through a blizzard. Jake, he managed. Thunder. Thunder. Her eyes went huge, like the sound after lightning. That's the coolest name ever. Despite everything, the pain, the cold, the fact that he should be dead, Thunder almost smiled. Yeah, he whispered. I guess it is. You saved me. Lily nodded. Yup. Why? She tilted her head like the question confused her. Because you needed help. You saw my jacket. Uh-huh. The patches. The skull. It's kind of scary looking, she admitted. But Grandpa says you can't judge people by their clothes. He says some people wear armor because the world hurt on them too much, like turtles have shells, but inside they're soft. Thunder couldn't breathe. This kid, this 6-year-old kid. Weren't you scared of me? Lily thought about it, really thought of your face scrunching up the way kids do when they're taking something seriously. A little, she said finally. But Mama always said brave isn't about not being scared. Brave is doing the right thing anyway. She paused. You looked like you needed someone to do the right thing. Thunder felt his eyes burn. He blinked hard trying to stop it. He hadn't cried in 8 years. He wasn't going to start now. You're something else, kid, Lily grinning. That's what Grandpa says too. Walter watched from the doorway. A Hell's Angel was lying on his kitchen floor, and his granddaughter was chattering at the man like they'd been friends for years. He should call the sheriff. He should be terrified. He should do something other than stand here watching. But he couldn't move, because Lily was doing what Lily always did, finding the human being under the surface, seeing what everyone else missed. She'd done it with the mean dog down the road, did it with grumpy Mr. Patterson, did it with every broken thing that crossed her path. Now she was doing it with a man whose jacket announced him as dangerous. Your leg's pretty messed up, Lily was saying. Dr. Ben's gonna fix it, though. He's really good. He fixed my arm when I fell off the porch last summer. See? She pushed up her sleeve to show a faded scar. Barely hurts anymore. Thunder looked at the scar, looked at the girl. Something shifted in his face, something cracked. Kid, You can call me Lily. Kid makes me sound like a baby goat. She giggled at her own joke. Thunder let out a sound, half laugh, half sob. Okay, Lily. Better. She patted his hand. You hungry Grandpa makes really good soup. Chicken noodle. That's my favorite when I'm sick. I could eat. Grandpa Thunder's hungry. Walter shook his head slowly, walked to the kitchen, started making soup. What else was he supposed to do? Dr. Ben arrived 2 hours later. He stopped dead when he saw the patient. Walter, that's a Hell's Angel. I know. You know what I know what she did. Walter's voice was steel. My granddaughter saved a man's life. That's all that matters tonight. Dr. Ben looked at Lily, who was now showing Thunder her butterfly collection from a shoebox. She dragged him in 30 feet through the blizzard. Jesus. Yeah. Ben got to work. Broken leg 2 places. Frostbite on 3 fingers. Concussion. Multiple cuts. The man should be dead. Another 15 minutes out there, Ben said quietly after Lily had finally crashed in Walter's chair, and he wouldn't have made it. She saved his life. Walter looked at his sleeping granddaughter. She has a gift, seeing good in people when they can't see it themselves. Let's hope this one deserves it. Yeah, let's hope. Thunder woke again near dawn. First thing he saw Lily, curled up in a big chair wrapped in a quilt watching him. You're awake, she whispered. You're still here. I didn't want you to be scared. Waking up alone in a strange place is scary. I know because I did it when I first came to live with Grandpa. Thunder felt his chest tighten. What happened to your parents? Lily's face changed, still open but sadder. There was a fire at our house. Daddy tried to save Mama. They didn't. She stopped, swallowed. They're in heaven now. I'm sorry, kid. Lily, I'm sorry. It's okay. I miss them every day. But Grandpa says they're watching me. And when I do good things, they smile. Thunder stared at her, this child who had lost everything and still found the strength to save a stranger. I lost my family too, he heard himself say. Lily's eyes widened. You did, my wife, Sarah, and my boy, Michael. He was only 4 months old. What happened? A drunk driver. 8 years ago. Lily was quiet for a long moment. Then she climbed down from her chair and did something Thunder wasn't prepared for. She hugged him, her small arms wrapped around his neck, and she held on tight. They're in heaven too, she whispered. With my mama and daddy. I bet they're friends. I bet Sarah and Michael are taking care of them, and mama and daddy are taking care of Sarah and Michael, and they're all waiting for us. But not yet. We have to stay here for a while. Okay. Thunder broke. 8 years of walls, 8 years of anger, 8 years of shutting everyone out. Gone. He wrapped his arms around this tiny girl and cried like he hadn't cried since the funeral. Okay, he choked out. Okay. 3 days passed. The storm raged outside. Inside, something else was happening. Lily talked constantly about butterflies, books, the neighbor's cat, her teacher at school, the best way to build a snowman. Thunder listened to every word, and he talked too, about the road, about his brothers, about the family he'd found when he had nothing left. He told her about Sarah's laugh, about Michael's smile, about the night they died and the 8 years of darkness that followed. You're not dark, Lily said matter-of-factly. You're sad. That's different. He said, Dark means you're bad inside. Sad just means you love someone a lot and you miss them. Missing people isn't bad. It's proof you love them. Thunder stared at her. Where'd you learn that? Grandpa, he misses my mama every day, but he says that's okay, because missing her means she mattered. Your grandpa's a smart man. He's the smartest. Lily grinned, Ed. Don't tell him I said that, though. He'll get a big head. From the kitchen, Walter snorted. I heard that. Oops, Cheyenne. Day 4, the storm broke. Thunder finally got a signal on his phone. Steele, it's Thunder. Brother, we thought you were dead. Not dead. Got caught in the storm. A family took me in. Where are you? We're coming to get you. Cedar Creek, Montana. But listen. Give me the address. Wait, I need to tell you something first. What? Thunder looked at Lily, who was drawing at the kitchen table. Purple butterflies, orange flowers, a motorcycle that looked like a happy dog. A little girl saved my life, 6 years old, found me freezing to death and dragged me 30 feet through a blizzard. By herself. Silence on the other end. She saw my jacket, the patches, skull and wings. Didn't matter to her. She just saw someone who needed help. More silence. Her parents are dead. She lives with her grandfather now. And when I told her about Sarah and Michael, you know what she did? What? She hugged me, told me they were in heaven waiting for me, but that I had to stay here for a while first. Iron Wolf's voice was different when he spoke again. Softer. A little girl, huh? Yeah, her name's Lily. Long pause. Brother Garen, I'm gonna make some calls. What does that mean? It means the family needs to know about this. What she did that means something. That's worth something. Thunder's stomach tightened. Iron Wolf, what are you planning? We're gonna say thank you, Thunder, the way only we can. The line went dead. Thunder looked at the phone, looked at Lily. She glanced up from her drawing. Who was that? My family. Are they coming to visit? Yeah, I think so. All of them. Thunder thought about the Hells Angels network. 37 chapters, 15 states, thousands of brothers. Yeah, he said slowly. I think maybe all of them. Lily's face lit up. Cool, I'll make them cards. She went back to drawing. Thunder watched her, his heart pounding. What had he started when? That night, after Lily went to bed, Walter sat down across from Thunder. How many are coming? I don't know. Guess. Thunder rubbed his face. Could be a few dozen, could be more. More meaning? I don't know. Iron Wolf said he was making calls. Walter's jaw tightened. This is a town of 800 people, Thunder. They've never seen a Hells Angel in their lives. If your people show up in force, I know. There'll be panic. Sheriff will call back up. People will lock their doors. I know. So what do we do? Thunder was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, we trust Lily. What? She looked at me and didn't see a monster. She saw a person. Maybe, maybe if the town sees what she sees. That's a hell of a maybe. It's all I got. Walter stared at him, hard, searching. My daughter was like her, he said finally. Saw good in everyone. Married a man I didn't trust at first, James. He'd been in trouble as a kid. What happened? He proved me wrong every single day. Best husband she could have asked for. Best father to Lily. Walter's voice cracked. They died together, holding hands. Thunder didn't speak. Point is, I almost missed knowing an incredible man because I judged him by his past. Walter leaned forward. I'm trying not to make that mistake again. Thunder met his eyes. I won't let you down. Don't let her down. That's what matters. Morning of day 5. Lily was up at dawn, best dressed, the one with flowers, hair and careful braids. I want to look nice for your family, she told Thunder. You always look nice. Today's special. Today's a thank you day. Thunder didn't have the heart to tell her he had no idea what was coming, how many, what they would do. The first engine rumbled at 9:47, then another and another. By 10:30, 50 motorcycles lined the road. By 11:200, they kept coming. Lily stood at the window, mouth open. Grandpa, she whispered. Grandpa, there's so many. Walter stood behind her, face pale. The motorcycles filled the road, the yard, the fields beyond, chrome and leather as far as the eye could see. By noon, the news helicopters arrived. Final count 2047, 2,047 motorcycles, 37 chapters, 15 states, 3 countries, the largest gathering of Hell's Angels in history for a 6-year-old girl. Lily looked up at Thunder, her eyes huge. Did they all come for me? Thunder knelt down, ignoring the pain in his leg. Yeah, Lily, they all came for you. But why? Because you reminded them of something they forgot. What? Thunder's voice caught. That there's still good people in this world. People who see past the leather and the patches. People who just see people. Lily thought about this. That's a lot of motorcycles for that, she said. Thunder laughed, actually laughed. First real laugh in 8 years. Yeah, kid, that's a lot of motorcycles. Outside, 2,000 engines went silent at once. The sudden quiet was louder than the roar, and then together 2,000 riders began to kneel. 2,000 men on their knees. Lily stared through the window, her small hand pressed against the glass. Grandpa, she whispered, why are they kneeling? Walter couldn't answer. His throat had closed up. In 71 years, he had never seen anything like this. Thunder limped toward the door. They're showing respect, Lily. That's how we honor someone who matters. But I'm just a kid. Thunder stopped, turned to look at her. No, he said quietly, you're not just anything. He opened the door. The cold hit first, then the silence. 2,000 people, not a single sound, just breath turning to mist in the frozen air. A man at the front of the crowd rose, massive, taller than Thunder, gray beard down to his chest, leather jacket covered in patches that told a story of 40 years on the road. Iron Wolf. He walked forward slowly, each step deliberate. The crowd parted for him like water. He stopped at the bottom of the porch steps. Thunder, he said, his voice was gravel and smoke. Wolf, you look like hell. Feel like it too. Iron Wolf's eyes moved past Thunder, found Lily half hidden behind Walter's leg. That her? Yeah, that's her. Iron Wolf climbed the steps. 1, 2, 3. He stopped in front of Lily and looked down at her. She looked up at him. For a long moment, nobody moved. Then Iron Wolf, president of the Hells Angels Montana chapter, a man who had made grown men cry with a look, slowly lowered himself to one knee. Lily Harper, he said, his rough voice suddenly gentle. My name is David. My brothers call me Iron Wolf, and I came a long way to say 2 words to you. Lily's voice was tiny. What words? Thank you. Behind him, 2,000 voices spoke as one. Thank you. The sound rolled across the snow like thunder. Lily's eyes went wide. Her lip trembled. You're welcome, she whispered. Iron Wolf smiled. It transformed his face completely. I like this kid, he said to Thunder. Yeah, Thunder replied, his voice thick. Me too. Walter stepped forward. I appreciate what you're doing here, he said carefully. But I've got a 6-year-old granddaughter and 2,000 strangers on my property. I need to know what happens next. Iron Wolf rose to his feet. Fair question. Straight answer. I'm listening. We came to say thank you. That's it. We brought supplies, food fuel generators. We've got mechanics who notice that your truck needs work. Carpenters who saw your fence is falling down. We're not here to cause trouble. We're here to help. Help? Yeah, the way your granddaughter helped one of ours. Walter studied the man's face, looked for the lie, couldn't find it. And then we leave. Tonight, tomorrow, whenever you want us gone. Iron Wolf paused. But I'm hoping you'll let us stay a while. My brothers, they need this. Need what? To remember why we started this thing in the first place. To remember we're not just the monsters people think we are. Lily tugged on Walter's sleeve. Grandpa, he seems nice. Walter looked down at her, then at Iron Wolf, then at the sea of leather and chrome stretching to the horizon. Coffee's on, he said finally, but I'm watching all of you. Iron Wolf nodded. Wouldn't expect anything less. The next hours were organized chaos, but chaos nonetheless. Road captains directed traffic. Motorcycles parked in neat rows across the fields. Trucks appeared from somewhere carrying tables, chairs, grills, coolers full of food. Lily watched it all with her face pressed to the window. They're like an army, she said, but with hamburgers. Thunder laughed. That's one way to put it. Can I go outside? Thunder looked at Walter. Walter hesitated. Please, Grandpa, I want to meet them. Walter rubbed his face. Stay close to me. Don't wander off. And if anyone makes you uncomfortable, you tell me immediately. I will. Promise. They stepped outside together. The reaction was immediate. 2,000 heads turned. 2,000 pairs of eyes locked onto the tiny girl in the flowered dress. Then the first man started clapping. It spread like wildfire. In seconds, the entire crowd was applauding, cheering, some were crying. These hardened men covered in tattoos and scars wiping tears from their eyes. For her. All for her. Lily grabbed Walter's hand tight. Grandpa, why are they crying? Because you did something beautiful, sweetheart. And beautiful things are rare. Cha. Iron Wolf appeared at their side. You ready to meet some people, Lily? She nodded, suddenly shy. This is Bear, Iron Wolf said, gesturing to a man so large he blocked out the sun. He's our sergeant at arms. Biggest teddy bear you'll ever meet. Bear knelt down. His hands were the size of dinner plates. Hey there, little one. I heard you saved Thunder's life. Yes, sir. That took guts, real guts. He reached into his jacket and pulled out something small. A patch. He pressed it into her hand. This belonged to my daughter. She passed 5 years ago. Cancer. She was brave like you. I want you to have it. Lily looked at the patch, a tiny angel with wings spread wide. I can't take this, she said. It's too special. That's exactly why you should have it. Special things belong with special people. Lily looked up at Walter. He nodded. Thank you, she said softly. I'll take really good care of it. Bear's eyes glistened. I know you will. One by one they came. Phoenix, a woman in her 60s with silver hair and a leather jacket that had seen better days. She pressed a necklace into Lily's hand, a silver chain with a small heart pendant. My daughter's, she explained. She died 3 years ago, overdose. She was trying to get clean, almost made it. Her voice cracked. She would have loved you, Lily. She always said kids were the only honest people left in the world. Razor, a man with scars across his face that told stories he'd never share. He didn't have a gift. He just knelt down, looked Lily in the eyes and said, I haven't talked to my daughter in 4 years. Stupid fight. Pride. After hearing what you did, I called her this morning. We talked for 2 hours. Lily's face lit up. Really? Really, you reminded me what matters. Sketch, a tattoo artist from California, gave her a leather-bound notebook and professional colored pencils. Every artist needs good tools. And kid, you're an artist. You just paint with kindness instead of ink. Doc, an actual doctor who rode with the club on weekends, checked Thunder's leg and declared it healing well. Then he examined Lily just to be sure she hadn't hurt herself during the rescue. Healthiest kid I've seen in years, he announced. Strong as an ox. I'm not an ox, Lily protested. Oxes are stinky. The crowd roared with laughter. Sheriff Dan Morrison arrived at noon. He had backup. 4 cars, deputies with hands on their weapons. Iron Wolf saw them coming and walked out to meet them. Alone, hands visible. "Sheriff, you want to tell me what the hell is going on here?" "A little girl saved one of my brothers. We came to say thank you." 2,000 of you. Word spread. Morrison looked past Iron Wolf to the crowd, the tables of food, the children because some riders had brought their families playing in the snow with Lily. "I've got calls from every news station in the state," Morrison said. "I've got the mayor breathing down my neck. I've got terrified residents calling 911 every 5 minutes. We're not causing trouble. You're Hell's Angels." "Yes, we are." Iron Wolf stepped closer. "We're also fathers, brothers, sons. Some of us are veterans, some are doctors, lawyers, mechanics. We're not what you think we are." Morrison's jaw tightened. "I've arrested your guys before. I know exactly what you are. You've arrested some bad men who wore our colors. I won't deny that. But you've also arrested bad men who wore suits, bad men who wore badges." Iron Wolf let that land. "Today we're just people trying to thank a little girl who saw one of us dying and didn't turn away. Can you let us do that?" Morrison stared at him for a long moment. Then Walter appeared, Lily holding his hand. "Sheriff," Walter said, "these people are my guests." "Walter, do you know who these people are?" "I know what they've done for my granddaughter. I know they fixed my truck, repaired my fence, and filled my pantry with enough food to last the winter. I know they've been nothing but respectful." Walter's voice hardened. "And I know my granddaughter saved one of them because she saw a human being who needed help. Maybe we could all learn something from that." Morrison looked at Lily. She looked back at him with those clear green eyes. "Hi, Sheriff Dan," she said. "Do you want a hamburger? Bear makes really good ones." Someone in the crowd laughed, then someone else. Then the whole field was laughing, and even Morrison's deputies were fighting smiles. Morrison sighed. "One night, that's all I'm authorizing. One night and then you're all gone." "Thank you, Sheriff," Iron Wolf said. "Don't thank me. Thank her." He pointed at Lily. "And Walter, we're going to have a long conversation about this later." "Looking forward to it." Morrison turned and walked back to his car, but before he got in, he looked back one more time. Lily waved at him. He shook his head, and then just barely he waved back. The news arrived with the afternoon. Helicopters circled overhead. Vans with satellite dishes lined the road. Reporters pressed against the fence, shouting questions. Iron Wolf handled them. "What's happening here?" "A thank you." "Why did 2,000 Hell's Angels show up for one little girl?" "Because she showed more courage than most adults we know." "Is this a publicity stunt?" Iron Wolf's face went cold. "A 6-year-old girl found a man freezing to death in a blizzard. She didn't see his jacket. She didn't see his patches. She saw a human being who needed help, and she dragged him through the snow until she saved his life." He paused. "That's not a stunt. That's a miracle. We're just here to witness it." The reporter fell silent. Behind the cameras, Thunder stood with Lily on his shoulders so she could see over the crowd. "Are all those people here because of me?" she asked. "Not just here, everywhere. Your story is spreading, Lily. The whole world is going to know what you did." "Why?" "Because people need to hear that kindness still exists. You gave them proof." Lily thought about this. "I just didn't want you to die," she said simply. Thunder's voice caught. "I know, kid. That's what makes it beautiful." Mrs. Patterson arrived at 3 p.m. She was 87 years old, had lived next to Walter for 40 years, and she had called 911 6 times since the motorcycles arrived, convinced it was the apocalypse. But curiosity got the better of her. She marched across the field with her walker, ignoring the massive bikers who parted respectfully to let her pass. "Walter Harper," she demanded, "what in God's name is going on here?" "Betty, these are friends of Lily's." "Friends? They're Hell's Angels?" "Yes, ma'am," Iron Wolf said, stepping forward. "We are." Mrs. Patterson looked up at him, way up, and didn't flinch. "I've read about you people. Drugs, violence, mayhem. Some of that's true, some isn't." "Which parts?" "The parts about us being a family, about looking out for each other, about protecting people we care about." Iron Wolf smiled. "That little girl is one of us now. That means we'd burn down the world for her. or fix her grandpa's fence, whichever's more helpful. Patterson stared at him, then at Lily, who was now playing tag with a group of bikers twice her size. She does seem happy, Mrs. Patterson admitted. She's the happiest kid I've ever seen, and the bravest. Mrs. Patterson watched for another minute. Then she did something no one expected. Do you have any coffee? My feet hurt, and I need to sit down. Iron Wolf blinked. Yes, ma'am, right this way. The scholarship was announced at 4 p.m. Iron Wolf gathered the crowd. Hundreds of bikers formed a circle around Walter's porch. Lily sat on Thunder's shoulders, confused but excited. Brothers and sisters, Iron Wolf called out, we came here to say thank you, but thank you isn't enough. Not for what this child did. He pulled out an envelope. Every chapter contributed. Every brother who couldn't be here sent something. The total, he paused and his voice cracked. The total is $200,000. The crowd cheered. Lily's eyes went wide. What's that mean? She whispered to Thunder. It means you can go to any college you want, kid. They're paying for your future. But I'm only 6. Doesn't matter. When you're ready, the money will be there. Iron Wolf wasn't finished. This isn't charity, he continued. This is an investment in kindness, an investment in the kind of world we want to live in. He looked directly at Lily. You showed us something we forgot. That courage isn't about size or strength. It's about heart. And kid, you've got more heart than anyone I've ever met. He climbed the porch steps and handed the envelope to Walter. Walter's hands were shaking. I can't accept this, he said. It's not for you. It's for her. And it's not up for debate. Iron Wolf leaned closer. Your granddaughter saved one of us. This is the least we can do. Walter looked at the envelope, then at Lily, then at the sea of faces watching them. Thank you, he managed. All of you. Thank you. The crowd erupted again. But the biggest moment was still coming. A woman pushed through the crowd, older, maybe 60, red hair fading to gray, tears streaming down her face. She walked straight toward Thunder. He saw her, froze. No, he whispered. That's not. Jake. The woman stopped in front of him. Her hands were shaking. Margaret, Thunder's voice was barely audible. Sarah's mother. Hello, Jake. Thunder couldn't move, couldn't breathe. He hadn't seen Margaret Reynolds since the funeral, since she'd screamed at him that it was his fault, that if Sarah had never met him, she'd still be alive. He'd carried those words for 8 years like chains around his heart. What are you doing here? He asked. I saw the news. I saw your picture. I didn't believe it at first, but then they showed the little girl and I. She stopped, started again. I had to come. Lily tugged on Thunder's jacket. Who is she? She's. Thunder couldn't finish. Margaret looked down at Lily. Something in her face softened. I'm the grandmother of someone he loved very much, she said. Sarah and Michael, Lily said immediately. He told me about them. They're in heaven with my mommy and daddy. I bet they're friends. Margaret's composure shattered. She dropped to her knees sobbing, great heaving waves that shook her whole body. Lily did what Lily did. She walked over and hugged her. It's okay, she whispered. It's okay to cry. Tears are just feelings that got too big to stay inside. Margaret held on to this childish stranger like a lifeline. I blamed him, she choked out. For 8 years I blamed him, but it wasn't his fault. It was never his fault. She looked up at Thunder. Jake, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Thunder was crying now too. Couldn't stop. Margaret, I should have died with them. I should have. No. Margaret stood, walked to him, took his face in her hands. Sarah loved you. She chose you, and she would have wanted you to live, to find happiness again. She glanced at Lily. I think maybe she sent you here, to this child, to help you heal. Thunder broke completely. He pulled Margaret into a hug, the first contact they'd had in 8 years, and they stood there holding each other, crying together. Lily watched with Walter. Grandpa, are they going to be okay? Yeah, sweetheart. I think they finally are. The sun began to set. Riders gathered around a massive bonfire someone had built in Walter's field. The news helicopters had left. The reporters had gotten their stories. Now it was just family. Lily sat on Thunder's lap, wrapped in her new leather jacket, a tiny thing Iron Wolf had presented her with an hour ago, complete with a special patch that read, Little Guardian. Thunder, yeah, kid. I've been thinking about something. What's that? You said your family is gone, and I said my family is gone, but she looked around at the bikers, at Walter, at Mrs. Patterson, who was somehow now arm in arm with Barrett Margaret, who was talking quietly with Iron Wolf. Maybe they're not gone. Maybe they just changed into new shapes. Thunder was quiet for a long moment. You know what, Lily, I think you might be right. I'm usually right. Ask Grandpa. She is, Walter confirmed from nearby. It's very annoying. The crowd laughed. Iron Wolf raised his drink. To Lily Harper, the smallest, bravest guardian angel we've ever had. 2,000 voices echoed, to Lily. Lily grinned. This is the best day ever. Thunder held her tighter. Yeah, kid, it really is. But the day wasn't over yet. As the bonfire burned and the laughter continued, a small boy appeared at the edge of the crowd. He was maybe 8 years old, skinny, dirty, wearing clothes too thin for the winter cold. Lily spotted him first. Grandpa, who's that? Walter looked, frowned. I don't know, never seen him before. Lily slid off Thunder's lap. I'm gonna go say hi. Lily, wait, but she was already walking toward him. The boy saw her coming and started to run. Wait, Lily called. Don't go. I just want to talk. He stopped, turned. His eyes were huge and scared. Are you hungry? Lily asked. We have lots of food, and it's warm by the fire. The boy didn't move. My name's Lily. What's yours? A long pause. Ethan, he whispered. Hi, Ethan. Where's your family? The boy's face crumpled. I don't have one. Lily's expression didn't change. She just reached out her small hand. That's okay, she said. Neither did I for a while. But then I found a new one. Maybe you can too. Ethan stared at her hand, then at the massive crowd of bikers behind her. Slowly, very slowly, he reached out. Their fingers touched. Lily smiled. Come on, she said. I'll introduce you to my friends. They look scary, but they're actually super nice. She led him toward the fire. Behind them, 2,000 pairs of eyes watched. And something in the air shifted, like the universe had just made a decision. Iron Wolf leaned toward Thunder. That kid, he said, nodding at Ethan. Runaway looks like it. No coat, no family, freezing out here alone. Thunder watched Lily bring Ethan to the food table. Watched Bear immediately wrap a blanket around the shivering boy. Watched Mrs. Patterson start fussing over him like a grandmother. She did it again, Thunder said quietly. Did what? Found someone who needed help without even thinking about it. Iron Wolf was quiet for a moment. That girl, he said finally, is going to change the world. No, Thunder replied. She already has. Ethan couldn't stop shaking. It wasn't just the cold anymore. Bear's blanket was thick and warm. The fire was close, but the shaking wouldn't stop. Lily sat next to him, not touching, not pushing, just there. You don't have to talk, she said. Sometimes I don't want to talk either. That's okay. Ethan looked at her. This strange girl who had walked up to him like he mattered, like he wasn't invisible. Why are you being nice to me? Because you looked cold and scared and alone. Lily shrugged. I know what that feels like. You do, my mommy and daddy died. I was really scared after. I thought nobody would ever love me again. She paused. But then Grandpa Walter came, and Thunder, and all these people. Turns out love doesn't run out. It just finds new places to go. Ethan stared at her. How old are you? 6. How old are you? After I'm 8. Cool, you're older than me, but I'm probably smarter. Despite everything, Ethan almost smiled. Almost. You're weird. That's what everyone says. I think weird is good, though. Normal is boring. Thunder approached slowly. He'd been watching from the fire, watching Lily do what Lily did, find the broken things and start fixing them. Hey, kid, he said to Ethan, you hungry? Ethan's eyes went wide and he looked at Thunder's jacket that patches the size of him. I won't hurt you, Thunder said quietly. Nobody here will. They're Hell's Angels. Yeah, we are. Scary, right? Ethan nodded. You know what else we are? We're brothers. We take care of each other. And right now, you look like you need someone to take care of you. Thunder sat down slowly, keeping distance. What's your story, Ethan? Ethan pulled the blanket tighter. I don't have a story. Everybody has a story. Mine's not good. Neither is mine, but I'm still here, still breathing. Thunder paused. How long have you been on your own? Ethan was quiet for a long time. 3 weeks. Lily gasped. 3 weeks in winter. I stayed in barns mostly, abandoned buildings. I stole food from gas stations. His voice dropped. I'm not a bad person. I didn't have a choice. Where are your parents? Thunder asked. Ethan's face went blank. That awful blankness that comes from too much pain. My dad's in prison. My mom's... He stopped. She chose her boyfriend over me. Said I was too much trouble. Said she couldn't deal with me anymore. Lily's hand found his, small fingers wrapping around his dirty ones. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard, she said firmly. You're not trouble. You're a kid. Kids aren't trouble. Kids are people. Ethan looked at her. Something cracked behind his eyes. You don't even know me. So what I didn't know Thunder either. I still saved him. Mama. Walter had been listening. He walked over now, his old bones protesting, but his heart refusing to stay away. Ethan, is it? The boy flinched. Yes, sir. You got any other family, grandparents, aunts, uncles? No, sir, nobody. Foster care. Ethan's whole body went rigid. Please don't send me back there. Please, I'll leave. I'll go right now. Just don't. Whoa, whoa, Walter held up his hands. I'm not sending you anywhere. I'm just asking questions. Trying to understand. The foster home was bad, Ethan whispered. The man there, he hit us. If we talked back, if we ate too much, if we looked at him wrong. He said nobody wanted us anyway, so we had to earn our keep. Lily's grip on his hand tightened. That's why you ran, Thunder asked. He broke Tyler's arm. Tyler was 7. He broke a 7-year-old's arm because Tyler spilled milk. Ethan's voice was hollow. I couldn't stay there. I couldn't watch it happen to the little kids anymore. Walter's jaw clenched so hard it hurt. What's this foster father's name? Mr. Hendricks. Carl Hendricks. Walter looked at Thunder. Something passed between them. Something cold and hard. Grandpa, Lily tugged his sleeve. Ethan can stay with us, right? We have room. He can have the extra bedroom. Sweetheart, it's not that simple. Why not? He doesn't have anywhere to go. We have a house. That's simple. Walter opened his mouth, closed it, looked at this boy, this skinny, scared, broken boy, and saw his own granddaughter 2 years ago. Lost, alone, needing someone to fight for her. One night, he said finally, tonight you stay with us. Tomorrow we figure out the rest. Ethan's eyes filled with tears. Really, dumb? Really, but you're taking a bath first. No offense, kid, but you smell like a barn. For the first time, Ethan laughed. A real laugh, small and rusty, but real. Thank you, he whispered. Thank you, sir. Iron Wolf found Walter an hour later. The bikers were settling in for the night. Some in tents, some in trucks, some just wrapped in blankets by the fire. Nobody was leaving until morning. The boy, Iron Wolf said. What's his situation? Walter told him. All of it. The prison father, the absent mother, the abusive foster home, the 3 weeks alone. Iron Wolf's face got darker with every word. Yes. Carl Hendricks, that's the name. I know that name. Iron Wolf's voice was ice. He's been flagged before, complaints from kids, but nothing ever sticks. System's too broken to catch guys like him. What are you saying? I'm saying maybe the system needs some help. Walter grabbed his arm. Don't. Whatever you're thinking, don't. The last thing this situation needs is violence. Who said anything about violence? I know that look. I've seen it before. Iron Wolf was quiet for a moment. Then he pulled out his phone. We've got brothers in social services, brothers in law enforcement, brothers who know how to get things done the right way. He met Walter's eyes. Carl Hendricks won't hurt another kid. I promise you that. But it'll be legal. It'll be clean. And when they take him down, it'll stick. Walter studied him. Why, you don't even know this boy. I know Lily, and Lily already loves him. That makes him family. Iron Wolf paused. We protect family, Walter, no matter what. So, inside the house, Lily was giving Ethan a tour. This is my room. That's Mr. Buttons, my stuffed elephant. He's seen some stuff, but he doesn't talk about it. That's my butterfly collection. And this, she pointed to the framed photo by her bed, is my mommy and daddy. Ethan looked at the photo, a young couple smiling, holding a baby Lily. They look nice. They were the best. Daddy used to carry me on his shoulders everywhere. Mommy sang to me every night. Lily's voice got quiet. Sometimes I forget what they sound like. That's the worst part, when you start forgetting. I already forgot my dad's face, Ethan admitted. He went to prison when I was 5. I try to remember, but it just goes blurry. Maybe that's okay. Maybe faces aren't the important part. Maybe it's the feelings you remember. What do you mean? Like I don't remember exactly what Daddy's laugh sounded like, but I remember how it made me feel safe, happy, like nothing bad could ever happen. Lily looked at him. Do you remember how your dad made you feel? Ethan was quiet for a long time. He used to build things with me. Birdhouses, model cars, stupid stuff. But when we were building, he didn't drink. He didn't yell. He was just Dad. Ethan's voice cracked. I remember that feeling, when it was just us and some wood and nails, before everything went bad. That's the part you keep, Lily said. The rest you can let go. Ethan wiped his eyes. You're really weird, you know that. Yep, Lily grinned mud. But I'm also right. You'll figure that out eventually. Duh. Thunder appeared in the doorway. Hey, Ethan, Walter's got the bath ready. There's some of my old clothes you can wear tonight. They'll be too big, but better than what you've got. Ethan stood, then stopped. Can I ask you something? Shoot. Your jacket, the skull, what does it mean? Thunder looked down at his patches. Means I belong somewhere. Means I've got brothers who'll die for me and I'd die for them. Means no matter how bad things get, I'm not alone. Must be nice, Ethan said softly. Thunder reached out and squeezed the boy's shoulder. It wasn't always. I was alone for a long time before I found them. Lost, angry, hurting everyone who tried to get close. What changed? Thunder glanced at Lily, who was pretending not to listen while arranging her stuffed animals. I met someone who saw past all the armor. Someone who reminded me that being hard doesn't mean being strong. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is let someone in. Ethan followed his gaze to Lily. She's really something, he said. Yeah, she really is. The night was late when the last fires burned down. Lily was finally asleep, worn out from the biggest day of her life. Ethan was in the guest room, clean and fed and safe for the first time in weeks. Walter and Thunder sat on the porch watching the stars. I never thought I'd have 2 kids in this house again, Walter said. Lost my daughter, thought I'd never have family after that. Then Lily came, and now there's a scared boy in your guest room. Yeah, Walter sighed. What am I doing? Thunder, I'm 71 years old. I can barely keep up with Lily. How am I supposed to take on another one? You don't have to. I know that, but... Walter struggled with the words. Did you see his face when Lily held his hand? When I said he could stay? I saw it. He looked like he'd forgotten what kindness felt like he'd given up on anyone ever caring about him again. Walter's voice roughened. I know that look. Lily had it when she first came to me. This deep, hollow emptiness, like hope had just died. And you brought it back, Thunder said. For Lily, you can do it again. I'm too old for this. Bull! Thunder turned to face him. You know what I see when I look at you. A man who lost his daughter and didn't give up. A man who took in an orphaned grandchild and gave her the world. A man who let a Hell's Angel into his house and treated him like a human being. He paused. Age doesn't matter. Heart does. And you've got plenty. Walter was quiet for a long time. He's not mine, though, legally. There's paperwork, courts, the whole system. We'll handle it. What? Iron Wolf's already making calls. We've got people in the system. Good people who want to help. By tomorrow, someone will be here to start the process. Walter stared at him. Why are you doing all this? Because Lily loves that boy already, and anyone Lily loves becomes family. Thunder met his eyes. We take care of family, Walter. It's what we do. Morning came too fast. Lily was up with the sun bouncing into Ethan's room before Walter could stop her. Wake up! Wake up! There's pancakes and the bikers are leaving soon, and you have to say goodbye to everyone, and Bear said he'd give you a ride on his motorcycle if Grandpa says okay. Ethan blinked at her, still half asleep. What? What time is it? Time to get up? Come on! She grabbed his hand and pulled. Ethan let himself be pulled. The departure was chaos. 2,000 motorcycles couldn't leave at once, so road captains organized a rotation. Waves of bikes rolled out every 15 minutes, each group stopping to say goodbye to Lily before they left. Lily hugged every single one. Some of the hardest men on the planet reduced to tears by a 6-year-old girl in a flowered dress. You changed something in me, kid, one writer told her. I'm going to call my daughter. Haven't talked to her in 5 years. But after seeing you, I gotta try. You should, Lily said seriously. Dads and daughters are important. Yeah, they are. Another writer, a woman named Steele Rose from Texas, pressed a bracelet into Lily's hand. My grandmother made this, carried it for 30 years, kept me safe through some dark times. Now it's yours. But it's yours. And now I'm giving it to you. That's how love works. You pass it on. Ethan watched from the porch overwhelmed. He'd never seen anything like this. Never known people could be this open, this genuine. Lily found him during a break between goodbyes. You okay? I don't understand these people. What don't you understand? They're criminals. Everyone says Hell's Angels are dangerous, but they're all crying and hugging and giving away stuff that matters to them. Lily tilted her head. Maybe everyone's wrong about them, like they were wrong about you. Ethan flinched. What do you mean? Your foster dad said you were trouble, but you're not. You're just a kid who got hurt. She shrugged. Maybe the Hell's Angels are the same. Maybe they're just people who got hurt and found each other. Ethan stared at her. You really are weird. Yup, but I'm also right, I know. He almost smiled. You keep saying that. Because it's true. Iron Wolf was one of the last to leave. He found Walter by the fence watching the procession. I made those calls, Iron Wolf said, and his child services is sending someone in today, someone I trust. She'll do a proper investigation into Hendricks and start the paperwork for Ethan. What kind of paperwork? Emergency foster placement. With you, if you want it. Walter's hands tightened on the fence. Me. Lily already considers him family. So does Thunder. The question is whether you're ready to make it official. I'm 71 years old. That's it. And Ethan's 8. He needs someone, Walter, not someday, now. Iron Wolf paused. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, some kids don't get second chances. This might be his. Walter looked back at the house. Through the window, he could see Lily and Ethan at the table eating pancakes together. Lily was talking animatedly, probably about butterflies. Ethan was actually smiling. He's been hurt bad, Walter said. It'll take time, maybe years. You've got time. I might not, at my age. Then you give him what you can, however long that is. And when you're gone, he'll have Lily. He'll have us. He won't be alone. Iron Wolf clapped him on the shoulder. Family's not about time, Walter. It's about showing up. And you've been showing up your whole life. Walter was quiet. Then, tell your person to bring the paperwork. Iron Wolf smiled. Already done. Thunder came to say goodbye. His leg was healing. He could walk without the crutch now, though he still limped badly. The brothers had brought his repaired motorcycle Resurrection. They'd found it in a ditch and fixed it overnight. I've got to head back, he told Lily. Chapter business. Can't stay away forever. Lily's face crumpled. But you just got here. I know, kid, but I'll be back. Every month, I promise, and I'll call every Sunday just like we talked about. You promise on my life. Lily threw her arms around him. Thunder held her tight, this tiny girl who had pulled him back from the edge of death and given him a reason to live. Thank you, he whispered into her hair, for saving me. Not just my body, all of me. You were never really broken, Lily said. Just bent. Now you're straight again. Thunder laughed, wiping his eyes. You've got away with words, kid. Grandpa says I got it from my mom. Then your mom must have been something special. She was, and now you are too. Thunder couldn't speak for a moment. When he found his voice, it was rough. I'll see you soon, Lily. You take care of Walter. And Ethan. And I know, I'll take care of everyone. That's what I do. Yeah, it really is. He stood, nodded to Walter, and walked to his motorcycle. Resurrection rumbled to life. Lily waved until he was out of sight. The social worker arrived at 2 p.m. Her name was Maria Gonzalez. 50 years old, kind eyes, no-nonsense attitude. She'd been doing this job for 23 years and had seen every kind of horror the system could produce. She'd also been a Hell's Angel in her 20s. That part she kept quiet. Mr. Harper, I understand you're interested in emergency foster placement for Ethan. Yes, ma'am. You understand what that means. The home visits, the background checks, the court dates. I do. And you're willing to go through all of it at your age with a child that already in your care. Walter straightened. Ma'am, I was a firefighter for 30 years. I ran into burning buildings when everyone else ran out. I've buried my daughter and my son-in-law. I've raised my granddaughter through the worst grief of her life. I don't scare easy, and I don't give up. Maria studied him. Then she smiled. Good answer. Let me talk to Ethan. Sure. Lily insisted on being present for the interview. He's my friend. I should be there. Sweetheart, this is official business. He's scared. He needs someone he knows. Maria looked at this fierce little girl, arms crossed, chin up, ready to fight the whole system if necessary. She can stay, Maria said. Might actually help. The interview was hard. Ethan had to tell his story again. The prison, the abandonment, the foster home, the abuse, the running. He cried twice. Both times Lily held his hand. Why didn't you tell anyone about Mr. Hendricks? Maria asked gently. I tried. Nobody believed me. They said I was making it up because I was a troublemaker. Ethan's voice was hollow. After a while, you stopped trying. I believe you, Ethan. He looked up. You do. I do, and I'm going to make sure he never hurts another child again. Ethan stared at her, then his face crumpled. Nobody ever said they believed me before. Maria reached out and took his other hand. That changes today. From now on, you've got people in your corner. People who will fight for you. You understand? Ethan nodded, tears streaming. Mr. Harper wants you to stay here, with him and Lily. Is that something you want? Yes. The word came out like a prayer. Yes, please. Then let's make it happen. The news about Carl Hendricks broke 3 days later. Anonymous tips had flooded the local police department. Former foster children came forward with their stories. A teacher provided medical records showing suspicious injuries on children in Hendricks' care. He was arrested on 12 counts of child abuse. Ethan watched the news coverage from Walter's living room, Lily beside him. They got him, he whispered. They actually got him. The bikers did it, Lily said matter-of-factly. Iron Wolf said they would. How do you know? Because that's what family does. They protect each other. Ethan looked at her. We're not their family, Lily. We just met them. So family isn't about how long you know someone. It's about who shows up when you need them. She grinned. And 2,000 people showed up before for me. I think that counts. Ethan was quiet for a long moment. Then, I've never had that. A real family. You do now. How do you know? Lily took his hand. Because I picked you. Just like I picked Thunder. Just like I picked everyone. She squeezed his fingers. And I've got really good taste. For the first time in 3 weeks, Ethan felt something loosen in his chest. Something that might have been hope. Shuaita. The hearing came a month later. Walter stood before the judge in his best suit, the one he'd worn to his daughter's funeral, then to his son-in-law's funeral, then to the custody hearing for Lily. Mr. Harper, you're 71 years old. You already have legal custody of one minor child. Are you certain you want to take on another? Yes, Your Honor. Walter looked at Ethan sitting in the gallery between Lily and Maria. Because every child deserves someone who believes in them, someone who shows up, someone who fights. His voice steadied. Ethan's been failed by every adult in his life. His father, his mother, the system. I can't fix what happened to him, but I can make sure it never happens again. The judge was quiet. And if something happens to you, you're not a young man. Then he'll have Lily and a network of 2,000 people who've already claimed him as family. Walter paused. I know I can't promise forever, but I can promise today and tomorrow. And every day I've got left. The judge looked at Ethan. Young man, is this what you want? To live with Mr. Harper. Ethan stood. His voice shook but didn't break. Yes, ma'am. He's the first person who ever asked me what I wanted, who ever treated me like I mattered. He glanced at Lily. They're the only real family I've ever had. Please don't take that away. The courtroom was silent. The judge signed the papers. That night they celebrated. Not big, not fancy, just Walter, Lily, and Ethan around the kitchen table eating chocolate cake that Lily had insisted on making herself. It was lopsided and slightly burnt, but nobody cared. To family, Walter said, raising his milk glass. To family, Lily and Ethan chorused. They clinked glasses. This is weird, Ethan said. Good weird, but weird. Weird is good, Lily reminded him. Normal is boring. You say that a lot. Because it's true a lot. Walter watched them, these two broken children who had somehow found each other. Lily, who had lost everything and still saw the world as beautiful. Ethan, who had been betrayed by everyone and was slowly learning to trust again. His daughter would be proud. His wife would be proud. He was going to make sure these kids had everything they needed every day for as long as he lived and beyond. The phone rang at 9 p.m. Walter answered. Hello. Walter, it's Thunder. Hey, brother, how's the road? Good, healing up. Should be back to full strength in another month. Thunder paused. How's Ethan? Officially mine. Court signed off today. That's great news. Really great. Another pause. Listen, I'm calling because I need to tell you something. Something about Ethan's father. Walter's stomach tightened. What about him? His name's Danny Morrison. He's in Stillwater State Prison. Drug charges and assault. I know. Ethan told us. What Ethan doesn't know is that Danny was one of ours, 20 years ago, before everything went wrong. Walter went cold. He was a Hell's Angel. Prospect never made full member. Got too deep into the drugs, started stealing from brothers. We cut him loose. Thunder's voice was heavy. I didn't put it together until today. Morrison's not a rare name, but when I saw the photo in Danny's file, it's Ethan's father. No question. Walter sat down slowly. What are you telling me? I'm telling you that the Brotherhood failed that family once already. We didn't help Danny when he started spiraling. We just pushed him out. Thunder paused. We're not making that mistake with Ethan. Whatever that boy needs, whatever you need, we're there. You understand? I understand. Good. Now tell Lily I said hi, and tell Ethan. Thunder's voice caught. Tell him his father wasn't always bad. Tell him there was good in there once, before the drugs took it. Walter looked toward the living room where Lily and Ethan were playing cards and laughing. I'll tell him, he said, when he's ready. That's all I ask. The line went dead. Walter sat in the quiet kitchen holding a phone that suddenly weighed 1,000 pounds. Some secrets were meant to be kept. Others were meant to set people free. He'd have to figure out which one this was. Walter kept the secret for 3 months. Every Sunday when Thunder called, he thought about telling Ethan. Every time the boy mentioned his father, the words sat on Walter's tongue like stones. But how do you tell an 8-year-old that the man who destroyed his childhood was once part of a brotherhood, that there was good in him before the drugs ate it away, that the people who saved him now had once pushed his father out? Walter didn't know, so he stayed quiet until the letter came. It arrived on a Tuesday, no return address, just Ethan's name in shaky handwriting. Ethan stared at it. Who knows I'm here? I don't know. Open it. Ethan's hands trembled as he tore the envelope. A single page, handwritten. His face went white. It's from my dad. Lily looked up from her homework. Your dad, the prison one. Lily, Walter warned, but Ethan was already reading, his lips moving silently. His hands shook harder with every line. What does it say? Lily asked. Ethan couldn't speak. He thrust the letter at Walter and ran. The back door slammed. Walter read the letter. Son, I know you don't want to hear from me. I know I don't deserve to write, but I'm dying, cancer. They give me maybe 6 months. I need to see you one more time. I need to explain. I need to say I'm sorry. Please, just once. Your father, Danny. Lily was at his elbow, reading over his arm. He's dying. Looks like it. Is Ethan gonna go see him? I don't know, sweetheart. That's his choice. Lily was quiet for a moment. Then she headed for the back door. Where are you going? To find Ethan. He shouldn't be alone right now. She was gone before Walter could stop her. Ethan was behind the barn. He'd found this spot his first week here, a place where nobody could see him, where he could fall apart in private. He was crying hard, the kind of crying that rips something loose inside. Lily sat down next to him, didn't say anything, just sat. Go away, Ethan choked out. No. I don't want to talk. Okay, we don't have to talk. Then why are you here? Because you're sad, and sad is better with someone next to you. Ethan wiped his face furiously. You don't understand. You can't understand. Maybe not, but I can sit here. I'm really good at sitting. Despite everything, Ethan almost laughed. It came out more like a He's dying, he said. My dad's dying. I know, I read the letter. I should be happy. He ruined my life. He's the reason Mom left. He's the reason I ended up with Hendrix. Ethan's voice cracked. I should hate him. Do you? Ethan was quiet for a long time. I don't know anymore. I used to. When I was at Hendrix's place, I'd lie awake and hate him so much it burned. But now, he trailed off. Now I just feel empty. Lily leaned against his shoulder. Maybe empty is okay for now. Maybe you don't have to decide yet. He wants to see me. I know. I don't know if I can. That's okay too. Ethan looked at her. How are you like this? You're 6. You shouldn't be this. Wise, Lily grinned. Grandpa says I'm an old soul. I think I just pay attention. To what? To people, to feelings, to the stuff that matters. She paused. My mama used to say that everyone's carrying something heavy, and the only way to make it lighter is to let someone else help carry it. Your mom sounds amazing, and she was, and she would have liked you. Ethan wiped his eyes again. Wiping, because you're trying, even when everything hurts, you're still trying. That's all anybody can do. Walter called Thunder that night. The letter came. Silence on the other end. Then Danny wrote him. Cancer, 6 months. Wants to see Ethan before he goes. Thunder exhaled slowly. How's the kid taking it? Badly. He's confused, angry, scared, all at once. What are you going to do? That's not my call, it's his. He's 8, and it's still his choice. Walter paused. But he needs information to make it. He needs to know the truth about his father, about who Danny was before. Thunder was quiet. You need to tell him, Walter said, not me, you. Walter, you knew Danny. You knew the man he was before the drugs. You can tell Ethan that his father wasn't always a monster, that there was something good there once, and if it makes things worse, then at least he'll know the truth. At least he won't spend his whole life wondering. Thunder sighed. Soon, before he makes a decision about visiting. I'll be there Friday. The line went dead. Yes, Ethan didn't come out of his room for 2 days. Lily brought him meals, sat outside his door, talked to him through the wood, even when he didn't answer. I brought you a peanut butter sandwich. Grandpa says you have to eat. No response. I also brought Mr. Buttons. He's good at making people feel better. I'll leave him outside your door. Silence. Ethan, I know you're sad. I know everything feels too big right now, but you're not alone. You'll never be alone again. I promise, or Fema. Still nothing. Lily waited another minute. Then she placed the sandwich and the stuffed elephant outside his door and walked away. When she was gone, the door cracked open. A hand reached out, took the elephant, closed the door. It was something. Thunder arrived Friday morning. His motorcycle rumbled up the driveway and Lily flew out of the house before anyone could stop her. Thunder, you came back. He caught her in a hug, swinging her around. Told you I would, didn't I? You did, but I missed you anyway. Missed you too, kid. He set her down. Where's Ethan? Lily's face fell. In his room? He won't come out. Not even for me. That's why I'm here. Walter met them on the porch. The two men exchanged a look. You ready for this? Walter asked. No, but that doesn't matter. They went inside. Thunder knocked on Ethan's door. Hey kid, it's Thunder. Can I come in? No answer. I know you're hurting. I know you don't want to talk, but I've got something to tell you. Something important. About your dad. Silence stretched. Then what about him? Let me in and I'll explain. More silence. Thunder waited. Finally the door opened. Ethan looked terrible. Dark circles under his eyes. Face blotchy from crying. But his jaw was set defiant. Talk. Thunder sat on the edge of the bed. Ethan stayed standing at arms crossed. I knew your father, Thunder said. 20 years ago, before you were born. Ethan's arms dropped. What? Danny Morrison was a prospect for the Hells Angels. My chapter. He wanted to be a brother. Wanted it more than anything. Ethan stared at him. That's impossible. It's true, he rode with us for almost 2 years. And he was good Ethan. Sharp, loyal, funny as hell. Thunder's voice softened. The guys loved him. I loved him. He felt like a little brother. Then what happened? Thunder looked away. The drugs happened, started small, pills for a back injury. Then it got bigger, harder stuff. He started changing, getting paranoid, making bad decisions. He stole from the club to feed his habit. Ethan's hands clenched. So you kicked him out. We had to, club rules. Stealing from brothers is unforgivable. Thunder paused. But I've always wondered if we did the right thing, if we should have tried harder to help him instead of just cutting him loose. Would it have mattered? I don't know, maybe not. Addiction's a monster. It eats people from the inside. Thunder looked at Ethan. But I do know that the man who stole from us, who ended up in prison, who hurt you, that wasn't always who he was. There was someone else in there first. Someone good. Ethan's eyes filled. Why are you telling me this? Because you're trying to decide whether to see him, and you deserve to know the whole truth. Not just the bad stuff. All of it. What difference does it make he's still the man who destroyed my family? Yeah, he is. Thunder leaned forward, but he's also dying, and he's reaching out. That takes something, Ethan. Pride, fear, whatever he's been carrying all these years, he's setting it down to ask for one thing. One meeting. Why should I give him that? You shouldn't, not for him. Thunder's voice was firm. You should do it for yourself, so you don't spend the rest of your life wondering, so you can look him in the eye and say whatever you need to say, and then walk away clean. Ethan was crying now. What if I can't? What if I see him and just fall apart? Then you fall apart, and we put you back together. That's what family does. He's my family, by blood. Blood doesn't make family. Showing up does. Being there does. Fighting for each other does. Thunder stood. Danny Morrison is your father, but he stopped being your family the day he chose drugs over you. The people downstairs, Walter, Lily, me, the brotherhood, we're your family now, and we're not going anywhere. Ethan broke. He collapsed against Thunder, sobbing, and Thunder held him the way he wished someone had held Danny 20 years ago. It's gonna be okay, kid, he murmured. Whatever you decide, it's gonna be okay. Ethan decided to go. 3 days later, Walter drove him to Stillwater State Prison. Thunder rode alongside on his motorcycle. Lily stayed home with Mrs. Patterson, though she protested loudly. He's going to need me. He's going to need space, Walter explained gently. This is something Ethan has to do himself. We can't do it for him. But what if he gets scared? Then he'll remember that we're waiting for him, and he'll find his courage. Lily hugged Ethan before they left. You're brave, she whispered. Even if you don't feel like it, you're the bravest person I know. Braver than Thunder. Way braver. Don't tell him I said that. Ethan almost smiled. Almost. The prison was cold. Not temperature cold. Soul cold. The kind of cold that seeps into your bones and makes you want to run. Ethan sat in the visiting room, hands flat on the metal table, trying not to shake. Walter sat beside him. Thunder waited in the lobby. Rules only allowed 2 visitors. You don't have to do this, Walter said quietly. Yes, I do. The door opened. Danny Morrison walked in. He was thin, gaunt really. The cancer had eaten him from the inside out. His prison uniform hung loose on his frame. But his eyes found Ethan immediately. They were the same eyes Ethan saw in the mirror every morning. Danny sat down across from them. For a long moment, nobody spoke. Then Danny said, "You got big." Ethan's jaw tightened. "It's been 3 years. "I know, I kept track. Asked the guards to look you up when I could." Danny's voice was rough. "Heard about Hendricks, what he did to you. I wanted to kill him. But you didn't. You weren't there." "No, I wasn't." Danny looked down at his hands. "I wasn't there for any of it, and I'm sorry." "Sorry doesn't fix anything." "I know." Silence stretched between them. "Why did you want to see me?" Ethan asked finally. Danny looked up. His eyes were wet. "Because I needed you to know that I loved you. Love you, still, even though I destroyed everything, even though I don't deserve to. If you loved me, why did you choose drugs?" "I didn't choose them. I got lost in them. That's not an excuse, it's what happened. I was hurt and scared, and the drugs made the pain go away. Until they became the pain." Ethan's voice cracked. "Mom left because of you. I ended up with a monster because of you. I spent 3 weeks freezing on the streets because of you. I know. I wanted to die sometimes. Did you know that I thought about just giving up? Because nobody cared. Nobody was coming." Danny was crying now, silent tears streaming down his hollowed cheeks. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I'm so sorry, son. Don't call me that." "Ethan, don't." Ethan's voice was steel. "You lost the right to call me that years ago." Danny nodded slowly. "You're right, I did." Walter watched the exchange, heartbreaking for both of them. A father destroyed by his own demons, a son destroyed by his father's choices, and somehow impossibly sitting in the same room together. "I don't forgive you," Ethan said finally. Danny flinched but didn't look away. "I wouldn't either." "But," Ethan struggled with the words, "Thunder told me about you, before, who you were before the drugs." Danny went still. "Thunder Jake Thompson. He's my friend now. He told me you were good once, that you wanted to be a brother." Danny closed his eyes. "I did. God, I did. Those years with the club, they were the best years of my life. I felt like I belonged somewhere." "What happened?" "I got hurt on a run, back injury. Doctor gave me pills, and they felt..." Danny shook his head. "They felt like everything I've been missing my whole life, like peace, like silence. The noise in my head, all the pain, it just stopped." "So you chose the pills?" "I chose the quiet. I didn't know it would cost me everything." Danny opened his eyes. "By the time I realized what I'd become, it was too late. Your mom was gone, you were gone, the club was gone, I had nothing left but the drugs. And then even those turned on me." Ethan was quiet for a long time. "I don't forgive you," he repeated. "I don't know if I ever can." "That's okay. But I came here because I needed to see you, to look at you and know that you're real, that you're not just the monster in my head." Danny nodded. "And what do you see?" Ethan studied his father. The hollow cheeks, the trembling hands, the eyes that held nothing but regret. "I see someone who gave up, who let the darkness win." Ethan's voice steadied. "I'm not going to be like you. I'm going to fight. Every day. I'm going to be better." Danny smiled. It was the saddest smile Walter had ever seen. "Good," Danny whispered. "That's all I wanted to hear." The drive home was silent. Ethan stared out of the window, processing. Walter didn't push. Some things needed space. Halfway home, Ethan spoke. "He's not all bad." "No, he's not. But he's not good either. Most people aren't just one thing, son." Ethan looked at him. "You called me son." Walter's hands tightened on the wheel. "Sorry, I didn't mean..." "It's okay." Ethan's voice was soft. "I like it when you say it. It feels right." Walter blinked back tears. Yeah. Yeah." They drove the rest of the way in silence, but it was a different kind of silence now. Lily was waiting on the porch. She launched herself at Ethan the moment he stepped out of the truck. "You did it? You're back. Are you okay? What happened? Did he cry? Did you cry? Was it scary? Tell me everything." "Lily," Ethan laughed, actually laughed. "Give me a second." "Right. Sorry. I'm just really glad you're home." "Home." The word hit Ethan like a wave. "Yeah," he said quietly. "Me too." Thunder walked over from his motorcycle. How did it go, kid? Ethan thought about the question, really thought. It went like it needed to. I said what I needed to say. He said what he needed to say. And now, he looked at the farmhouse, at Walter standing on the porch, at Lily still clinging to his arm. Now I can move forward. Thunder nodded. That's all any of us can do. He remembered you, asked if you were still riding. What did you tell him? I told him you saved my life, you and Lily and Walter. I told him I have a real family now. Thunder's jaw tightened. And what did he say? He said he was glad that someone finally gave me what he couldn't. Silence. Then Thunder pulled Ethan into a rough hug. You're stronger than he ever was, kid. Remember that? I'm trying. That's enough. That's always enough. 2 weeks later, the call came. Danny Morrison had died in his sleep. Peacefully, the warden said. No pain. Ethan took the news quietly. Went to his room, closed the door. Lily sat outside. Didn't knock, just sat. Hours passed. Finally, the door opened. Ethan sat down next to her in the hallway. I thought I'd feel something, he said. Relief, sadness, anger. Something. What do you feel? Empty, like when he first wrote me. He paused, but different too. Lighter, maybe. Maybe that's okay. Maybe you already said goodbye. At the prison. Yeah, maybe the goodbye already happened and this is just the ending of the ending. Ethan thought about it. That's weird, Lily. Good weird. I don't know yet. She leaned against his shoulder. That's okay too. You don't have to know everything right away. Grandpa says you're wise. Grandpa's right. She grinned. I'm extremely wise. It's my superpower. Ethan almost smiled. I thought your superpower was finding broken things. That too. I'm very talented. For the first time since the call, Ethan laughed. Lily grinned wider. There you are, she said softly. I was wondering where you went. I'm still here. Good. Don't go anywhere, okay? I'm not done with you yet. Done with me. Yeah, I've got plans, big plans. What kind of plans? Lily's eyes sparkled. You'll see, bish. The funeral was small. Danny Morrison had no friends left, no family besides Ethan, just a few prison chaplains and a handful of inmates who'd known him. Ethan stood at the grave with Walter, Lily, and Thunder. He didn't cry, didn't speak, just stood there looking at the simple headstone. Danny Morrison, 1979-2024. Rest in peace. You okay? Thunder asked quietly. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel. There's no supposed to. You feel what you feel. Ethan nodded slowly. Then, surprising everyone, Lily stepped forward. She placed something on the grave, a small stone from her nature collection. What's that for? Ethan asked. So he knows someone came, so he's not alone. She looked up at Ethan. Even if he hurt you, nobody should be alone at the end. Ethan stared at her. Then he knelt down and placed his own stone next to hers. Goodbye, Dad, he whispered. I hope you find the peace you couldn't find here. He stood, turned away, and walked toward the family waiting for him. That night, Thunder announced he was leaving. Chapter business. Can't put it off any longer. Lily's face crumpled. But you just got here. I know, kid, but I'll be back. I always come back. Promise, on my life. She hugged him fiercely. You better, or I'll come find you. I don't doubt that for a second. Thunder turned to Ethan. You did good, kid, today and every day since you got here. Your father would be proud, the good version of him, the one I knew. Ethan nodded. Thanks for telling me about him, the real him. Truth's important, even when it hurts. Yeah, I'm figuring that out. Thunder clapped him on the shoulder. Call me if you need anything. I mean it. Middle of the night, whatever. I'm there. I know. Thunder nodded to Walter. Take care of them. Always do. Resurrection roared to life. And then Thunder was gone, disappearing down the highway into the fading light. Lily watched until she couldn't see him anymore. I hate goodbyes, she said. Ethan put his arm around her shoulders. They're not really goodbyes, not with family. Lily looked up at him. When did you get wise? Learn from the best. She grinned. That's true, you did. They walked back to the house together. Behind them, the first stars appeared in the darkening sky. And somewhere on the road, a lone motorcycle carried a man who had finally found something worth fighting for. 1 year later, everything had changed. The farmhouse that once held 2 people now held 4. Walter, Lily, Ethan, and a 3-legged rescue dog named Chance that Lily had found behind the grocery store and refused to leave without. "He's broken," she'd said. "That means he needs us more." Nobody argued. The anniversary of the rescue was approaching. 1 year since Lily had dragged a dying man through a blizzard. 1 year since 2,000 motorcycles had filled the roads of Cedar Creek. The town hadn't forgotten. Neither had the world. The scholarship fund had grown to over $1 million. Donations poured in daily from people who'd heard the story and wanted to be part of something good. Lily's name had become synonymous with hope. Little Guardian, they called her. Lily hated it. "I'm not a guardian," she told Ethan one morning. "I'm just a kid who didn't want someone to freeze." That's what makes it special. You didn't do it for attention. You did it because it was right. "I guess." She poked at her cereal. "But all these people sending money and letters and stuff, it's weird. They don't even know me." "They know what you did. That's enough." "Is it?" Ethan thought about it. "Yeah, I think it is." Thunder called every Sunday without fail. His life had changed too. He'd become the Hells Angels' unofficial ambassador, speaking at schools and community centers about second chances and not judging people by their appearance. "Never thought I'd be giving speeches to church groups," he told Walter during one call. "Life's funny that way." Funny's one word for it. "How are the kids? Growing too fast. Lily's reading at a 4th grade level now. Ethan's catching up on everything he missed. They fight like siblings." "They are siblings." "Yeah," Walter's voice softened. "I guess they are." "And you, how are you holding up?" "Tired, 72 years old and raising 2 kids. Some days I wonder what I was thinking." "You were thinking they needed you." "That's true. And you need them." Walter was quiet. "Then that's true too." The anniversary ride was Iron Wolf's idea. 1 year, he announced during a chapter meeting. 1 year since that little girl changed everything. "We should mark it." "How?" "Another gathering, bigger this time. Not just our people, everyone she's touched, everyone who's been changed by her story." The word spread fast. Within a week, the RSVPs topped 3,000. Within a month, it hit 5,000. By the anniversary date, over 8,000 people had confirmed they were coming to Cedar Creek, Montana to celebrate one little girl's act of kindness. Walter nearly had a heart attack when he heard the number. 8,000, we can't host 8,000 people. "You won't have to," Iron Wolf assured him. "We're handling everything. Tents, food, sanitation, security. All you have to do is show up." "On my own property." "It's a celebration, Walter. Let us celebrate." Walter looked at Lily, who was practically vibrating with excitement. "Please, Grandpa, please, please, please." "Sweetheart, this is going to be chaos. Good chaos, the best chaos." Walter sighed. He'd never been able to say no to her. "Fine, but I'm not cleaning up afterward." "Deal." Dean. Ethan wasn't as excited. "I don't want all those people looking at me," he admitted to Lily the night before the event. "They're not coming to look at you. They're coming for you." "That's worse." Lily tilted her head. "Why?" "Because Ethan struggled with the words. "Because I'm not special. I'm just some kid you found in the snow. I don't belong in your story." Lily's face went serious. "You're wrong." "Lily, no, listen." She grabbed his hands. "You are part of my story, the best part. Because when I saved Thunder, I didn't know it would lead to you. I didn't know I'd get a brother. I'm not your brother." "Yes, you are. Maybe not by blood, but by everything else, by choice." Her eyes burned with intensity. "You're my family, Ethan. And tomorrow, 8,000 people are going to see that. They're going to see what family really means." Ethan stared at her. "How are you like this? You're 7 now. You shouldn't be this." "Wise," Lily grinned. "I keep telling you, it's my superpower." Ethan laughed. Actually laughed. "Fine, I'll go, but I'm not making a speech." "Deal, I'll do all the talking. I'm really good at talking." That's definitely true. The morning of the anniversary dawned bright and cold. Lily was up before sunrise, too excited to sleep. She put on her leather jacket, the one with the little guardian patch, and stood at the window watching the first motorcycles arrive. "They're here," she whispered. "They're really here." Ethan appeared beside her, rubbing sleep from his eyes. How many so far? I lost count at 100. It's not even 6 a.m. I know, Lily bounced on her toes. Isn't it amazing? Ethan watched the river of chrome and leather flowing toward the farm. A year ago, this sight would have terrified him. Now it just felt like family coming home. Yeah, he said quietly. It really is. Oshao. Thunder arrived at 8 a.m. He rode in at the head of a convoy, 50 brothers from his chapter, plus Margaret Sarah's mother, who had become an unexpected part of their extended family. Lily launched herself off the porch before his motorcycle even stopped. Thunder! He caught her mid-leap, swinging her around. Hey, kid, miss me? Always. She hugged him fiercely. Your leg's better. Good as new, well, almost. Still aches when it rains. That's what happens when you're old. I'm 53. Like I said, old. Thunder laughed and set her down. Where's your brother? Inside, he's nervous. About what? Everything. You know how he is. Thunder nodded. He did know. Ethan had come so far in a year, but the scars ran deep. Trust didn't come easy to a kid who'd been betrayed by everyone. I'll talk to him. Good. He listens to you. Lily paused. Almost as much as he listens to me. Nobody listens to you as much as they should, kid. That's what I keep saying. Time. Thunder found Ethan in the barn sitting on a hay bale staring at nothing. Hey. Ethan looked up. Hey. Lily says you're nervous. Lily says a lot of things. Thunder sat down beside him. Talk to me. Ethan was quiet for a long moment. Then, a year ago, I was sleeping in abandoned buildings and stealing food from gas stations. I had nobody. Nothing. I was ready to give up. And now there's 8,000 people out there because of Lily, because she saved you and you told everyone, and now, he shook his head. I don't know how I fit into all this. You fit because you're here, because Lily chose you, because Walter chose you. Thunder paused. Because I chose you. Ethan looked at him. You chose me. Yeah, kid. When I found out about your father, about who he used to be, I could have walked away. Let the system handle it. But I didn't, because you mattered. Not because of Danny, because of you. I don't understand. You don't have to understand. You just have to accept it. Thunder put a hand on his shoulder. You're not the kid nobody wanted anymore. You're Ethan Harper, Lily's brother, Walter's grandson, my family. And today, 8,000 people are going to celebrate that. Ethan's eyes filled. What if I mess it up? You won't. How do you know? Because you've already survived the hardest part. Everything else is just living. Ethan let out a shaky breath. Okay. Okay, I'll stop hiding in the barn. Thunder grinned. That's my boy, Ethan. By noon, the farm had transformed. Tents stretched across every field. Food trucks lined the road. A massive stage had been erected near the old oak tree where 1 year ago Lily had dragged Thunder's frozen body through the snow. 247 people. Final count. Bikers from 43 chapters. Families who had been inspired by the story. Reporters from around the world. Even a senator who had heard about the scholarship fund and wanted to meet the girl behind it. Lily handled it all with surprising grace. Thank you for coming, she told each person who approached her. It means a lot. You're the one who should be thanked, they replied. You changed everything. I just did what was right. Anyone would have done it. But that wasn't true and everyone knew it. Most people would have seen the leather jacket, the patches, the blood-covered face and turned away. Most people would have protected themselves first. Lily had seen a human being. That was her gift. The speeches started at 2 p.m. Iron Wolf went first. He told the crowd about the night he got the call, about hearing that one of his brothers had been saved by a 6-year-old girl, about realizing that this child had done something most adults couldn't do, looked past fear to find compassion. She reminded us who we are, Iron Wolf said, his voice thick with emotion. Not the monsters the world thinks we are, but brothers, family, people who take care of each other. The crowd roared. Bear went next, then Phoenix, then Sketch. One by one, the people whose lives had been changed by Lily's actions took the stage and shared their stories. Razor talked about calling his daughter for the first time in 4 years. We're rebuilding, he said. Slowly, but we're rebuilding. Because a little girl reminded me that family is worth fighting for. Phoenix held up her daughter's necklace, the one she'd given Lily, who had given it back a month later, with a note, "This should stay with you. Your daughter would want you to keep it close." "She didn't just save Thunder," Phoenix said. "She saved all of us." Then it was Ethan's turn. He hadn't planned to speak, had specifically said he wouldn't. But when Iron Wolf called his name, something shifted inside him. He walked to the stage on shaky legs. 8,000 faces stared back at him. His throat went dry. Then he saw Lily in the front row, giving him a thumbs up. Saw Walter beside her, nodding encouragement. Saw Thunder, arms crossed, grinning like a proud father. Ethan took a breath. "A year ago, I was dying." The crowd went silent. Not from cold like thunder, from loneliness, from feeling like nobody in the world cared if I lived or died. His voice cracked, but he pushed on. "My father was in prison. My mother had abandoned me. My foster father beat me. I had nothing. No one. I was ready to give up." He paused. "Then I found this farm, these people, this family." He looked at Lily. "I found her." Lily's eyes were shining with tears. Lily Harper saved Thunder's life by dragging him through a blizzard. But she saved my life by doing something even harder. She saw me, really saw me. Not the scared kid hiding in the shadows. Not the troublemaker everyone said I was. She saw someone worth saving. His voice steadied. "That's what she does. She sees people, the real them, past the armor and the fear and the walls we build. She finds the good that we've forgotten was there." He turned to face the crowd fully. "Everyone here came because of what Lily did. But I want you to understand something. She didn't do it for recognition. She didn't do it for the scholarship fund or the newspaper articles or the 8,000 people standing here today. She did it because a stranger was freezing and she couldn't let him die." He pointed at Lily. "That's who she is. Not the little guardian, not a hero, just a kid who refuses to look away when someone needs help. And if the whole world could be a little more like her," his voice broke, "well, maybe we wouldn't need guardians at all." The crowd exploded. 8,000 people on their feet cheering for a 9-year-old boy who had finally found his voice. Lily ran to the stage and threw her arms around him. "You said you weren't making a speech." "I lied. It was amazing." "I know," he grinned. "I learned from the best." Lily's speech was last. She stood at the microphone looking out at the sea of faces. 8,000 people. More than she could count, more than the population of Cedar Creek 10 times over. She wasn't nervous, not even a little. "Hi," she said. "I'm Lily. Most of you know that already." Laughter rippled through the crowd. "A year ago, I found a man in the snow. He was big and scary looking, and his jacket had a skull on it. Most people would have been afraid." She paused. "I was afraid, but my mama always said that brave isn't about not being scared. Brave is doing the right thing even when you're terrified." The crowd was utterly silent. "So I dragged him inside, and I warmed him up, and I made him soup, because that's what you do when someone needs help. You help them." She looked at Thunder standing at the side of the stage. "Thunder became my friend, then my family. He introduced me to his brothers, and they became my family too. Then Ethan came, and he became my family. And Mrs. Patterson next door, who used to complain about everything but now bakes us cookies every Sunday. And Margaret, who was so sad for so long but smiles now when she visits." Her voice rose. "That's what kindness does. It doesn't just help one person. It spreads, like ripples in a pond. You throw a stone and the waves keep going and going until they touch shores you never even knew existed." She spread her arms wide. "All of you are here because of one stone, one moment, one choice to help instead of look away." She smiled. "Imagine if everyone made that choice. Imagine if everyone decided to be brave, to see people instead of scary jackets and skulls and walls." The crowd was crying now. Hardened bikers, grizzled veterans, tough as nails, men and women, all of them wiping their eyes. "I'm not special," Lily said. "I'm just a kid, but I'm a kid who knows that every single person here is carrying something heavy. And maybe if we all help carry each other's stuff, none of it has to be that heavy anymore." She took a breath. "Thank you for coming. Thank you for being part of my family. And thank you for reminding me that one person really can make a difference. She stepped back from the microphone. 8,000 people roared. The celebration lasted until midnight. Music, food, laughter, bikers dancing with grandmothers, children riding on the shoulders of men covered in tattoos. Sheriff Dan Morrison, who had grudgingly become a regular at Walter's Sunday dinners, leading a line dance with Mrs. Patterson. It was chaos, the best kind of chaos. Walter sat on his porch watching it all, feeling every one of his 72 years, but not minding so much. Thunder dropped into the chair beside him. Hell of a day. Hell of a year. You did good, old man. Walter snorted. I didn't do anything. Lily did everything. Bull, you raised her. After Caroline died, after James died, you could have crumbled. Instead, you built a home. You gave her the foundation that made her who she is. Walter was quiet for a long moment. I miss them, he said finally. Every day. Caroline and James. I see them in Lily, her mother's eyes, her father's stubbornness. It's a blessing and a curse. Mostly blessing. Yeah, mostly. Thunder nodded. Sarah and Michael. I see them too sometimes, in the way Lily tilts her head when she's thinking, in how she refuses to give up on anyone. He paused. I used to think I'd never stop grieving, that the hole they left would swallow me whole. And now I know the hole doesn't go away, but you can build around it. Fill the rest of your life with enough good that the darkness doesn't consume you. Walter looked at his grandchildren. Lily was dancing with Bear, her feet on his boots, laughing as he twirled her around. Ethan was talking with a group of teenage bikers, actually smiling, actually relaxed. They saved me, Walter said. Both of them. I thought I was doing them a favor taking them in. Turns out they were doing me one. That's how family works. You save each other. Yeah, Walter smiled. I'm starting to figure that out. The night wound down slowly. Families packed up. Motorcycles roared to life in waves heading back to homes across the country. But nobody wanted to leave. Nobody wanted this feeling to end. Lily found Thunder by his motorcycle. You're going again. I have to. Chapter business. I know. She hugged him tight. But I'll miss you. I'll be back. I'll always come back. Promise, promise. He pulled back to look at her. You know, a year ago, I was ready to die. I'd given up, lost everything. And then this crazy little girl dragged me through a blizzard and told me I had to stay. You did have to stay. I know that now, but back then, he shook his head. You saved my life, Lily, not just my body, my soul. I'll never be able to repay that. You don't have to repay it. You just have to pass it on. Thunder stared at her. Pass it on. Yeah, help someone else. Save someone else. That's how kindness works. You don't pay it back, you pay it forward. Thunder was quiet for a long moment. Then he laughed. A real deep laugh. 7 years old and you've got life figured out better than anyone I know. I'm almost 8. Oh, well, that explains it. Lily grinned. Come back soon, okay? Ethan's birthday is in 2 months. He'd pretend he doesn't care, but he'd want you there. I'll be there. Wouldn't miss it. Margaret approached next. And she changed in the past year. The grief that had consumed her for so long had softened into something else. Not gone, never gone, but transformed. Manageable. Lily, I wanted to thank you. For what? For bringing Jake back into my life. For helping me forgive. Margaret's eyes glistened. I spent 8 years blaming him for Sarah's death. 8 years of anger and bitterness. You showed me there was another way. I didn't do anything. You did everything. Margaret knelt down to Lily's level. You showed me that love doesn't end when someone dies. It just changes shape. Sarah and Michael, they're still here. In Jake, in you, in everyone who's been touched by this story. Lily hugged her. They're proud of you. I bet they're really proud. Margaret broke. She held on to this child, this miraculous child, and cried. But for the first time in 8 years, the tears weren't from grief alone. They were from healing. The last motorcycle left at 2 a.m. Walter locked the gate and walked back to the house where Lily and Ethan were half asleep on the porch swing. Bed, both of you. 5 more minutes, Lily mumbled. Now. Grandpa, I'm too old for this argument. Move. Ethan laughed and pulled Lily to her feet. Come on, we can argue with him tomorrow. Fine. Lily shuffled toward the door, then stopped. Grandpa? Yeah. Today was a good day. Yeah, sweetheart, it was. We're going to have more good days. Walter looked at his grandchildren. These two broken, beautiful souls who had somehow found each other, who had somehow found him. Yeah, he said, we're going to have a lot more. 6 years passed. Lily turned 13, then 14, then 15. She grew tall and strong, her mother's eyes shining from her father's face. She never lost the quality that had defined her, the ability to see people really see them, past all the armor and fear. Ethan turned 16, then 17, then 18. He went from a scared, angry boy to a confident young man. He got accepted to college, the scholarship fund paying his way, and planned to study social work, to help kids like him, kids who had been failed by everyone. Thunder visited every month without fail. His hair went gray, his step got slower, but his love for his family never wavered. Walter turned 78, then 79, then 80. His body was failing. He knew it. The doctors knew it. He'd made his peace, but he wasn't afraid because he knew what he was leaving behind. Yeah. The call came on a Tuesday. Lily was at school when her phone buzzed. Ethan picked up instead. Hello. Ethan, it's Dr. Crawford. You need to come to the hospital. Now. Ethan's world stopped. What happened? It's Walter. He collapsed this morning. It's not good, son. Ethan was already moving. He found Lily in her classroom, took one look at her face, and knew she knew. Grandpa, hospital, now. They ran. Walter was conscious when they arrived. Barely. His face was gray, his breathing shallow, but his eyes found them immediately. My kids, he whispered. My beautiful kids. Lily grabbed his hand. Grandpa, don't talk. Save your strength. Strength's all gone, sweetheart. Has been for a while now. He smiled weakly. I held on as long as I could. Wanted to see Ethan graduate. Wanted to see you become who you're going to be. You're going to see it. You have to. I've seen enough. His eyes moved to Ethan. You, come here. Ethan stepped closer, tears streaming. You were the best surprise of my life, Walter said. The day Lily found you, I didn't know it yet, but that was the day our family became complete. Grandpa, let me finish. I don't have much time. Walter coughed. You're going to do amazing things, Ethan. You're going to help kids who are like you, lost, scared, alone. And when you do, you remember something. You are not saving them. You're showing them that they're worth saving. There's a difference. Ethan couldn't speak. He just nodded. Walter's gaze moved back to Lily. And you, my little guardian. I hate that name. I know, but it's true. He squeezed her hand. You changed the world, Lily. Not with big speeches or grand gestures, just by being yourself, by refusing to look away, by loving people before they could prove they deserved it. I learned it from you. No, sweetheart, you taught it to me. I was an old man ready to fade away, and then you came. You brought light back into this house, into my life. His voice was fading. Your mother would be so proud. Your father would be so proud. And I'm the proudest of all. Lily was sobbing now. Don't go. Please don't go. I have to, sweetheart. Your mama and daddy are waiting for me. Caroline and James, they want to hear all about you. Tell them I miss them. They know, they've been watching. Every day they've been watching you become this incredible person. Walter's eyes started to close. Take care of each other. Promise me. We promise, Ethan and Lily said together. Walter smiled, and then he was gone. Thunder arrived 2 hours later. He found Lily and Ethan in the hospital chapel holding each other, crying. He didn't say anything, just sat down beside them and put his arms around both. They stayed like that for a long time. The funeral was the biggest Cedar Creek had ever seen, bigger than the anniversary ride, bigger than anything. Over 10,000 people came, bikers from across the country, families who had been touched by Lily's story, children from the scholarship program, Social workers, teachers, politicians, strangers who had never met Walter Harper, but knew what he had meant to two orphans who had become his whole world. Iron Wolf gave the eulogy. Walter Harper was not a Hell's Angel, he began. He was never a biker, never wore leather or rode a Harley, but he was one of the finest men I've ever known. Because he understood something that most people forget: family isn't about blood. It's about choice, it's about showing up. It's about loving people even when it's hard. He looked at Lily and Ethan in the front row. He chose these two kids, a little girl who had lost everything and a scared boy who had been failed by everyone. He opened his home, his heart, his life. And in return, they gave him a reason to keep living for 8 more years. Iron Wolf's voice cracked. That's the deal, folks. That's what love is. You give everything you have and you get everything back. Walter knew that. He lived that. And now, he paused. Now it's up to us to carry it forward. Lily spoke last. She stood at the podium, 18 years old now, tall and strong, and so much like her mother, it made people's hearts ache. My grandfather used to say that people wear armor because the world has hurt them too much, she began. That underneath the walls, there's usually someone gentle who's just trying to stay safe. She looked out at the crowd. He was right. He was always right. But he never told me the other half of the truth, that armor doesn't just protect you. It also traps you, keeps you from connecting, from loving, from living. Her voice steadied. Grandpa Walter never wore armor, not once in his life. He let the world see exactly who he was, an old firefighter with bad knees and a broken heart who refused to give up on anyone. He took in my mother when she needed a parent. He took in me when I needed a home. He took in Ethan when no one else would. She wiped her eyes. That's his legacy. Not the scholarship fund or the newspaper articles or the 10,000 people standing here today. His legacy is us, Ethan and me, two kids who learned that family isn't something you're born into. It's something you build, something you fight for, something you choose every single day. She looked at the coffin. I'm going to miss you, Grandpa, every day for the rest of my life. But I'm not going to let that grief become a armor. I'm going to keep loving people, keep seeing them, keep refusing to look away. She smiled through her tears. That's what you taught me. That's what I'll carry forward. She stepped back. 10,000 people rose to their feet, and somewhere far above, Walter Harper watched his grandchildren and smiled. 20 years later, Lily Harper Thompson stood on the porch of her farmhouse, her grandfather's farmhouse, now hers, watching the sunset paint the Montana sky in shades of orange and gold. She was 38 years old, a mother of 3, the founder of the Walter Harper Foundation, which had now helped over 50,000 children find their way out of darkness. Thunder sat beside her, 73 years old, still writing, still part of the family. He'd married Phoenix 5 years after Walter's death, and together they'd become grandparents to Lily's children. You thinking about him? Thunder asked. Always, especially today. Anniversary of the rescue. Yeah, 31 years. Lily shook her head. Hard to believe it's been that long. Time flies when you're changing the world. Lily laughed. I haven't changed the world. You bull. Look around you. Thunder gestured at the farmhouse, the fields, the outbuildings that now house the foundation's offices. This was one old man and one little girl. Now it's an empire of kindness. Schools in 12 states, scholarship programs in 30 countries. All because you decided not to let me freeze to death. I was just a kid. You were never just anything. They sat in comfortable silence. Then Lily's daughter appeared, 7 years old, brown hair, in messy braids, green eyes that held that same impossible wisdom. Mommy, there's a man at the gate. He looks cold. Lily's heart clenched. The same words, the same scene, 31 years apart. What does he look like, sweetheart? Scary. He's got a big jacket with skulls on it. But the little girl tilted her head. I don't think he's scary inside. I think he's just sad. Thunder and Lily exchanged a look. What do you think we should do? Lily asked her daughter. The girl didn't hesitate. Help him. That's what we do. We help people. Lily smiled. That same smile her grandfather had loved. That same smile her mother had passed down. You're right, baby. That's exactly what we do. She took her daughter's hand, and together they walked toward the gate. The story of Lily Harper began with one choice. A 6-year-old girl, 42 pounds, dragging a dying stranger through a blizzard because she couldn't bear to let him freeze. That choice became 2,000 motorcycles. 2,000 motorcycles became 8,000 people. 8,000 people became 50,000 children saved. 50,000 children became a movement that stretched across the globe, touching millions of lives in ways that could never be fully measured. But it started with one moment. One act, one child who refused to look away. That's the secret of changing the world. You don't need armies or governments or unlimited resources. You just need one person brave enough to see another human being past the leather and the skulls and the armor and the fear and say, "You matter." Let me help. Lily Harper understood that at 6 years old. She never forgot it. And because of her, neither will we.